thank you for making it here on such short notice. Usually I would be like posting the promotional flyers and stuff in my newsletter and on social media several days in advance. So for all of you guys that are here, thank you for paying close attention and making yourself available on such short notice for this webinar Wednesday. And I apologize for not having one last week. If you didn't catch my stories on Instagram, I'm actually dealing with my first positive case of COVID in my centers. Yeah, so I've never experienced that before. We've been open this whole time, but last week, Tuesday, we found out that we had a positive case, so we had to close down, and that's what I've been doing the past couple of days. But I thank you, Shannon, for being here with us today and making yourself available to host Webinar Wednesday and bring it back so we can all get back on track. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself, Dani?
I'm good now. we're a week into quarantine, and we're gonna be reopening next week, most likely on Wednesday. And this has been a much needed break, to be honest. And thankfully, everybody is okay and recovering at home. So that's what's most important.
Good.
But I'm going to go ahead and get started. This webinar is being recorded for anybody that joins in late or has to go. Again, I know that it was short notice, so I want to make sure that it's recorded and sent out to you guys. As I mentioned, this is Miss Shannon Pickett. She is a childcare business owner herself. If I'm not mistaken, she has 3 different centers, which is truly a goal of mine. It's an inspiration, Miss Shannon. And she also owns a consulting business herself, where she provides consulting to childcare providers. So without further ado, I'll let you take it away, Ms. Shannon, and I'll come back at the end to help you with a Q&A. If you guys that are listening have questions throughout the presentation, please put it in the Q&A box. There is a designated Q&A box. If you hover over your Zoom screen on your phone or the computer, you'll see at the bottom it has a box you can click that says Q&A. If you have questions, leave them in there, and at the end, Shannon will answer them if they are applicable to this conversation. Please make sure your questions go along with what is being discussed. And I'll let you take it away. Thank you, Shannon.
Absolutely. So welcome, everyone. Dani, thank you so much for allowing your platform to all of us within early childhood education. I sincerely appreciate that. I see that we have some participants, so I'd like to get a chance to know just who it is that I'm engaging with, not just speaking and talking to. I believe that having a healthy relationship and learning from someone, it has to be a give and a take. So I want to know exactly, you don't have to give me a huge detail, but let me know who you are in the chat. I want to be able to say hi and welcome. Not only that, but I want for you to tell me your role within early childhood education. So if you're an owner, if you're a director or admin, if you're support staff, if you're a parent, right? If you are a lead teacher, if you are a floater, if you are janitorial staff, we all know that all of these individuals make up business, right? I'm Miss Gina Clark Nelson. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining in. Absolutely. Hello. I have my handy water right here, you guys. If it's been anything like us, the end of the day, we are Zooming, making sure that we send kids out to their parents. Hello, Massachusetts. Hello. Hi, Miss Paula. Just going to bring up the chat here to make sure I'm not missing anyone. Hello, Anna Maria from Philadelphia. Okay. An after school program and a nonprofit organization. Congratulations, Miss Mary, in-home group childcare. Hello, Miss Mary. All right. Now, I don't want to completely mess up your first name, so I'm just going to simply say your last name, Morales. High school programs, wow, planning to open a center. Congratulations to that. Miss Paula, family child care provider in Massachusetts. Katrina Morgan, hello, Amazing Grace. I love that. In New York, Carolina. All right, Washington, D.C. administrator, thank you. All right, do I see North Dakota? I do, okay. Opening a home daycare in May. All right, so we're just gonna finish up briefly. Teria, I sure hope I'm saying your name correctly. Miss Ian, in-home childcare, hello, in Syracuse, New York. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So just a brief history just about myself. My name is Shannon Pickett. I am quite a few things to quite a few people, right? As many of us are. I have been in the childcare field since 1999. So I am going on what, like my 22nd year almost. And so, no, 21st. Excuse me. And I love this field. I can actually recall wanting to be a teacher so far back to elementary school, not exactly knowing that this would be the field that I was gifted enough to be able to be in, right? So quick history, if you guys saw my bio, it was quite a few years ago that I think about almost 8 years ago, that I actually got laid off from Little People Preschool. And it was very hurtful for me. I felt as though I was a value and an asset to the program. I had taught there previously 5 years before, had 2 babies in a year, so left to be a stay-at-home mom for about close to 2 years. So when that happened, I took a leave of absence. And when I came back, I was the last one to come back on. And so the owners had let us know that enrollment was down and they needed to let a teacher go. Since I was the last one in, I was the one who was chosen to be let go. And it hurt. It hurt because I knew my value and I knew my worth. And so fast forward some years, I began to do a few endeavors. I am actually the published author of Henry the Couch children's book series. So Henry the Couch has a secret, and Henry the Couch has a bigger secret. And then I was able to also begin traveling science program in which I would bring live butterflies, calcium ant farms, natural sciences into different preschools. So that was exciting as well. But leading up to this, I was able to go back and blessed and fortunate enough to purchase the preschool that laid me off. And so I want to encourage all of you all, if you find yourself in a position where you're not quite sure where to go and what to do. I am a woman of faith, and so that drives me, and that I ask that God just lead and guide me into the direction that He would have me to go. Because guess what? If it's possible for me, it's possible for you too. So I know I saw someone in the chat who said that they are looking to open up their own center. Go after it and do it. So we were also able to expand. And so we have expanded twice. And we've even expanded during the pandemic. So that is a testament, again, right there. So we were able to purchase a location right next door to Little People Preschool and open up Little People Preschool Infants and Toddlers. That's actually where I am right now. And then during the pandemic in October, we were able to secure a place. We saw a need. We saw the necessity for families to be able to have a place where our school agers, not for us as well, for our school agers to be able to go, to be able to learn, to be able to have a safe place, to be able to still build their peers and rapport with those within their group. And so we launched LP Academy. And so that's exactly what we have as well. So we have Little People Preschool, Infants and Toddlers, and LP Academy. So I'm excited about that. As far as my consulting, it started, oh goodness, about 7 years ago with Foundation Builders. That's actually where everything was crafted and drafted from that Birth Intentional Teaching Institute. I believe that we must be intentional about the direction, about the preparation, about the execution of what it is that we are providing to our families, to our staff. So I hope that this webinar is able to allow you to grab some information, some nuggets, some tools that you can use, whether you are currently in a facility, whether you're an admin, whether you're a high school teacher. I'm looking over here in the chat to be sure Let's see. Yep. So I think I said everyone on here. No matter what it is, as far as the role that you find yourself doing, but I ask that you do it intentionally. And so, what does intentional mean? There is an amazing book. I'm going to go ahead and begin. And this is an engaging part. So there is going to be a portion where we're going to have some role play. And so I would like for individuals to go ahead and prepare your mind, kind of like we give our students a 5-minute warning of what's coming next. So then that way they're not shocked, right? So I want to just go ahead and let you know that we're going to play some scenarios. You don't have to show your face. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we're able to hear you. I just want to make sure, are you trying to show your slides right now?
Not yet. I'm about to click.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll go back. Just check.
No, you're fine. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Dani. So yes, I'm about to begin, but I just want to let you know that when I ask for participants, I am going to ask for 3 to 5 to engage with me for these portions. I don't need to see your face, but your voice. I am going to ask at that point that you do unmute. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Give me just a moment. And Dani, I just want to make sure they're able to unmute and engage. Is that correct?
I would have to allow everybody to talk.
Okay.
I can do that if you would like.
Okay.
You want me to turn on everybody's microphone right now?
Not yet, but I can let you know when, so then that way you can just do it at that time. So maybe about three quick minutes.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So here it goes. All right. So I want to be sure that everyone can see. I am, let's go back. Intentional Teaching Institute. So the goal of tonight is specifically to talk about intentional parenting communication. Intentional parenting communication. I still want to open up my chat to be sure that I am able to see everyone's responses and things of that sort. So yes, okay, so here we go. So Intentional Teaching Institute, as I let you know, it was drafted and birthed from Foundational Builders Workshops, and where you're able to understand that we, as early childhood educators, guess what? We are foundation builders. If you were to ask any kindergarten teacher, can you tell the difference between a child or a student who went to an engaging, a thriving, a well-rounded and academically based, socially based, emotionally based child care center, in-home center? Could you tell the difference? And in our area, I partner particularly with a particular elementary school within Wake County Public School System. And let me tell you, the answer is yes. We are necessary. We are needed. We are important. And the manner in which we build these relationships with families, remind yourself time and time again, just that families, sometimes when they come to us as preschool owners, as in-home centers, this is the first time that they're engaging with a teacher in a parent role, right? So we've been through school, they've been through kindergarten, elementary school, middle, and high school, but it's different when you're a parent. When you have given birth to a child, when you have adopted, if you are a foster parent, if these parents have found themselves in being guardians over maybe their grandchildren or nieces or nephews, I want to let you know that we have to set a precedent of the standard of how they're going to communicate from now on. And no, we have our own lives, right? We have our own families. I'm a wife. I'm a wife of almost, married my high school sweetheart. So I've been with him since I was 15 years old. And we have 3 wonderful children. We have a 16-year-old, so we have a teenager and 2 girls who are both 10. And we have our homes that we also have to care for. But when we walk, not even before we walk, when we go into the premises of the facilities, we have to understand that our clients are our families, and they're expecting a level of care and a standard of care, and how you present yourself in unfavorable situations can help to diminish and demolish a relationship, or it can help to build a healthy one. So I hope that in this webinar, for you as participants to actively engage in the webinar, okay, to learn applicable techniques, and to build upon the skills you already know. And then I really desire for you to consistently use us as a trusted resource and partner. Okay. All right. So within our preschool program, we actually have mandatory reading for our staff, not just for myself, but also for our teachers. And one of them for this summer, actually, it's the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So if you have ever read this book, I want you to just put it in the chat, right? I want you to put it in the chat, raise your hand, say yes, say I've heard about it. I haven't read it yet, but I really want to. So go ahead and put that in the chat. I want to be able to see that, and I want to make sure that I am able to see it, even while still presenting. So in particular, we are going to focus on, oh, hold on, let me just make sure that I go back. So the mandatory reading is that I cannot expect for our staff and our team members to have the vision that I desire for them to have as a company if I haven't poured into them. And so I'm intentional with the way, in the manner, and I bet so many of you are, in the manner that you feed their spirits and feed their souls, in the manner that you articulate the different trainings, your expectations, your standards, all of these things must be intentional. But this book can honestly transform your thinking. So we are in particular going to go to, if you see me turn my head a little bit to the left, sorry, I have another device that I just want to make sure that I'm a part of as well. So habit number 2, so beginning with the end in mind. So when a new staff member, and this training in particular is honestly able to truly help your new staff members. Some staff members come with 8, 9, 10, 15 years of experience. You may have a new staff member who is looking to change careers, right? And they now desire to be in early childhood education. And there's so many workshops that they're able to take. But I want you to learn how to make that connection and that bond with not just them as a person in their job and in their role, but their future as well. So one of my goals is to be able to facilitate a course, to have facilities, to have the centers in which, no matter how long you're going to be with us, that when you leave, my end goal, right? So I'm beginning with the end in mind. My end goal is for you to say, Ms. Shannon poured into me. When there were challenging and unfavorable discussions, she was respectful. I did not feel diminished as a person. I feel as though I was provided enough information to be able to not just succeed there, but to succeed in life. That is one of my goals, right? So if you have not read this amazing book, I would totally say that, hey, go ahead and download it. I can tell you how to break it up. So then that way, a little bit later on, how to break it up. So then that way your staff also stays on target, and how to have engaging conversations with your staff members as well, right? So, so yes. So habit number 2 says, begin with the end in mind, means to begin each day, each task, or project with a clear vision of your desired direction and destination, and then continue by flexing your proactive muscles to make things happen. All right. One of the best ways to incorporate habit 2 into your life is to develop a personal mission statement. So, what is your mission statement? Now, I'm not talking about for your facility, but what's your mission statement for yourself? What is it that you look in the mirror and say about you, right? You personally. What is it that you look and you say in the mirror to yourself each and every day, your confessions about who you are, right? What is it that you say to yourself of your goals, right? Like I said, I am a woman of faith, so I do bring in the Bible, so just FYI. So there's a scripture, Habakkuk 2:2, where it says, write the vision and make it plain upon tables. So then that way, those that read it may run with it. So though it tarry, to still wait for it. And I must say, opening up center number 2 was a long and tedious process. There were so many tears involved in it because it was an actual residential location. We had to go and ask permission from the city of Raleigh to be zoned as a commercial site. It was literally a home where we went down to pure bare studs, plumbing redone twice, laws were changed in the process. It was something major. It honestly was. But we had an end in mind. We knew that our first location had only served K2, K3, K4, and school agers, and we wanted to be able to have families start with us in infancy. So it was important for us. So that's why the infants and toddlers, they may only have 2 classrooms, a teacher's lounge, but you can feel the love and you can feel the support. You can feel the engagement. You can see the engagement. And honestly, that's what we desire to have. So I want you, if you haven't already, jot down to yourself. I want you to list 5 personal goals that you have for yourself. It could be immediate, right? It could be long-term, but I want you to jot those down. You're going to have to make them plain, okay? I want you to jot down 3. I want you to then jot down 3. Give me just a second. Excellent out of that one. Jot down 3 goals that you have for yourself professionally. And in mind, professionally may be that you desire to go back for your master's. It could be that you are desiring to complete your bachelor's. It could be that in the next 12 to 18 months, your goal is to solidify a location of where you want your center to be. It could be that you desire to, in the next 3 months, connect with a consulting firm to say, hey, how can I start this business? I'm willing to pay you for your information and the wealth of wisdom that you have. I need that support. I need someone to help me walk it through. Whatever it is, write down your goals. And then I want you to attach today's date to them. And I want you to, every 7 days, to go back and look at them. And mind you, Dani just had it where unexpectedly that happened in her center. And guess what? Her schedule was a little tossed. It was a little thrown off. But as long as every 7 days we go back to it and we say, okay, so next week, what can I do to insert some action? Because remember, habit 2 said that there's action applied to it. Okay, so point A to point B. And I actually say to point Z because I want to be able to go through the whole alphabet. I don't want to just get to B. I need to go from A to Z. So what is your starting point? Your starting point is where you are now. And what is your final destination? So you're going to write down those 5 personal goals. You're going to write down those 3 professional goals. And then you're going to look at that every 7 days and prepare and make a plan, an active plan, right? Faith without works is dead. So yes, so I want you to just really quick, if someone wants to share 3 of their personal or 3 of their professional goals, we're going to go straight into that. And I am trying to figure out how I can just make sure that I can see the chat and still present But I know that I want to stay on target and stay on time.
If you hover over the top bar, like there should be a top bar where you can like where the options for Zoom will pop up and you'll see a button that says chat. If you move your mouse over to the top of your screen, that thing pop up. Do you see the chat?
No, not while I'm presenting in full screen.
Yeah, so if you like outside of Zoom, like if you just hover your mouse over the top part of the screen, like nothing is popping down from the top.
It is popping down. I see where it says more all the way to the top right, and then it allows for me. It says chat is the top option.
Yeah, if you click that.
Yeah, it just isn't popping up while I have the full presentation screen up.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, but it's okay. We can keep moving.
Okay.
So thank you, Dani. Always there to help. So yes, so beginning with the end in mind. So the framework should always be established to have a healthy and lasting desired relationship and lasting relationship with parents for years to come, right? And there are some situations where you do have to disallow some families. I haven't had very many at all over the years. But in that case, you have to conduct your business as you conduct your business and make sure that it's a positive environment. That's why we have the behavior management, not just for students, but also for families, right? Another one of our goals is for our staff to also see themselves as the professionals we desire them to be and ultimately become. I'm not looking for perfect teachers. I'm looking for teachers who are able to follow our vision. Need to be able to have teachers who desire to be at work and be engaged, be a team player, and ultimately pour into a positive environment versus creating conflict. Another goal is to have our staff be as vigilant with maintaining these same goals, vision, and mission. The goal ultimately is if I walked away for 30 days, the same expectations that the parents have of me and of our facility, would our staff members be able to carry that out without me micromanaging and without me saying anything? So is that possible, right? For parents to feel secure in the way we deliver information. So remember, intentional parenting communication. There's security in healthy communication, right? If you think about some of your healthiest relationships, guess what? There is a healthy communication built somewhere in there, right? One of the ingredients. And then also for us to learn from past mistakes, because we all make them. Yeah, we're not looking for perfection, we're looking for progress. I'm looking for progress, right? We are all progressing to attain what it is that we desire to attain. Not perfect, right? From us to learn from past mistakes and build upon the positive knowledge taught, right? Okay, so let's go. All right, so in these scenarios, we're gonna have some main characters. Owner, director, admin, teacher, staff, parent, guardian. So let me tell you, the teacher staff can be, sorry, excuse me, you guys. It can be a lead teacher, an assistant teacher, support staff, janitorial staff. When a parent, basically, if they are not a parent, they are part of your teaching staff. And when parents see them, they see you, right? So when a parent sees your typical cleaning company and the way that they interact and engage with them, when they see them, they see you, they see the business, right? So it is highly effective for us to take the time to talk to our staff members, especially our new staff members who are just coming on board, to let them know that this is the expectation that we have given to our parents. This is what we've stated in writing through our handbooks. This is what we verbally communicated. This is what we've said during virtual tours that we're going to do. And they're watching, rightfully so. They are paying a good amount, a good cost of their monthly budget, their household budget, to be able to send their children, child or children, to your facility, right? And so you desire for them when they graduate to be able to say, if I had any more children, I am definitely coming back. And then for them to share your information, and not just to share your information, but to share positive stories, right? There's one thing to just click, 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 and click and say, yes, I was happy about this service. It's another thing to give a testimony and to give some background of, this is what happened. This is what I enjoyed. If I had a situation where they were not able to, for us, because let me tell you, sometimes you may not agree on everything, but as long as you agree to be respectful, as long as you agree that, hey, you know what, I didn't understand it that way, thank you for sharing this information, it's intentional, right? Because ultimately you desire for you and your families to have a lasting relationship for years to come. Okay. All right, so here's the setting. Ms. Dani, if you could go ahead and allow others to be able to unmute their mics.
Okay. So if anybody wants to talk at this point, you should be able to click unmute or click your microphone and allow yourself.
I have a meeting. I'm in a meeting. I am in a meeting.
Okay, so here we go. All right, so what just happened? Look at there, right? Have you ever taken a look over an email or daily communication, or visually witnessed a teacher handle a situation that just kind of was like, oh my gosh, did that really happen, right? So you had to interject to calm a heated case or correct a response that was not a favorable one, right? And sometimes at that point, it may be a seasoned person, and not necessarily seasoned being that they've been with you for a long time, but it may be someone who's been in the field for 15 years or 8 years, and maybe someone who's been in the field for 8 months, right? But guess what? Guess what? You don't know if where they've come from before that this was acceptable, or that it really wasn't addressed or handled and redirected, right? So we don't redirect all day long with our students. We must also, as admin and as teachers, be able to redirect ourselves, right? And be able to redirect our peers. But that also comes from having that healthy, consistent communication. So, all right. Let me just kind of move this zone over here for me. So not every conflict is a battle between two individuals over a situation, but at times the conflict is subtle and can go unnoticed in the eyes of some. But in the eyes of so many, it can leave a bad taste in someone's mind and in someone's heart. And a little leaven leavens a whole lump. So you want to be sure that you address that. So I need a volunteer who is going to help diffuse a heated case. And I'm using real life scenarios. In particular, real life scenarios. So once you unmute, if you could tell me your name and then tell me your position, or excuse me, your role, and we'll go from there.
Hello, my name is Rosa. My name is Rosa, and I have no role as of yet. But if I did, I would like to be a lead teacher.
Hi, Ms. Rosa. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good. So Ms. Rosa would like to be a lead teacher. So life is very different right now. Our parents are not able to see our teachers face to face as far as being able to come into the schools, but our communication should still be intentional, right? And so I'm going to do a simple phone type interview, right? So I want you to get into the role of being an admin.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you are the director. You are the face of the company if the owner is not on site. And then I'm going to get into a role of a parent who's a little disgruntled about not receiving daily communications for 3 days that week. So are you ready to kind of role play?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So here we go. We're going to be on Broadway, Miss Rosa. Here we go. All right. So let me have some music for us too. So if you had a center, what would be the name of your center, Miss Rosa?
Bunny Trail Academy.
Say it again.
Bunny Trail Academy.
Okay, so that's exactly how you're going to answer. When after this phone rings, then you are going to answer and state who you are and who your center is, and then I will go from there. Okay. All right. So here goes.
Hello, thank you for calling Bunny Trail Academy. This is Rosa Jackson, Director. How can I assist you today?
Hi, Miss Rosa. This is Miss Stephanie. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, Miss Stephanie. It's a pleasure to speak to you. How are you?
Yes, I don't have but just a few minutes, but I'm quite upset, almost just like a little ticked off. I thought that when we signed our little one up 3 short months ago, that you had stated that we were going to definitely be able to receive daily communications. And I don't know if you know, but we haven't received communication for 3 days straight. So I'm coming to find out what's going on.
I am so sorry about that. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. I'm going to see what is going on. I truly am very concerned about this as well. 3 days is a long time, and I will get to you tomorrow. I'm going to figure it out myself as well. I'm going to speak to the lead teacher and see what's going on, if they're having technical difficulties, as I'm not aware, and there has been communication with my staff, and you're the first to bring it to my attention. I just want to thank you for bringing that to my attention. I'm very concerned about this as well. As on my end, everything seems to go well with the child. There hasn't been anything that has been brought up to me. Is there anything else I can help you with? Any other concern?
Okay, so you said you'll give that to me tomorrow. Okay.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
okay. So, yes, if you could give me that by tomorrow morning, that would be perfect.
Yes, I will. I will give you an answer tomorrow, and I will. Would you like for me to communicate it to you via email, or would you like for me to give you a phone call?
If you don't mind giving me a phone call, but I still would like to receive those 3 days that I haven't received.
Definitely. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Miss Rosa. All right. If we can all put a hand clap or something in the chat for Miss Rosa. Miss Rosa, congratulations. Thank you so much. You can go ahead and back on mute. I'm going to say a few things that I actually really enjoyed to hear you say, even though you are not a preschool director or admin yet, right? One thing I love that you stated was you acknowledged the concern. You were pleasant, right? You were pleasant in your tone and in your demeanor. You acknowledged the concern. You heard me. You gave a few options that I would be able to have a phone call back if I decided, or if there was an email. You gave a turnaround time. One thing you can also do is say, hey, I'm going to get on this. If I don't have an answer back with you by the end of the day, can I at least let you know that? The teacher leaves at 4:30, but my goal is 2, right? So when you have a heated case, some of the best decisions that you can make is to get all of the information. Be intentional. I never hear one side. I go to all sides to gather all of my information, because it's almost like taking a test with Cliff Notes. You're going to miss some parts if you think that the solution you're going to give, if it's a Cliff Notes based solution, then you're missing some key parts and some key components. So you want to be able to be one that reads the entire book, right? In all of the information. So don't skip on going to your teacher and the manner in which you go to your teacher. You're not babying them, but also remember that this new person, because remember, we're coming from the point of a new person, they may not understand the role and the necessity of having the communication. So you want to make that clear in your training as well. Take your time. on your training. Don't rush through any training because it's necessary for them to understand the foundation. Just imagine trying to get to the second level of a home, but that foundation is cracked, it's ragged, it's not secure. So you don't want to be able to climb stairs where you know that foundation isn't secure. Thank you so much, Ms. Rosa. That was awesome. All right. As a business owner, it's the correct thing that we do apologize on behalf of our business. Thank you, Rosa, for doing that. It lets the parent know that your standards were not met, that your, typo there, have discussed the concern, and you as a team have created a solution. So always know when you are correcting an issue and you do have to apologize for something, always bring a solution to them. So if our desire for this is not to happen again, and these are some things we've implemented, you've given thought, you've cared, you've heard, you've prepared, you've talked as a team together, right? So here's this little gold nugget. So this gold nugget is, also remember, a sincere apology from the individual whom offended you goes further. So yes, apologize on behalf of your staff member. But I have also crafted just a time where we have our, during weekly powwows, that our teachers actually learn how to apologize to a parent. And sometimes it's not easy, right? As an adult, having to apologize to another adult. But the way in which you engage even with your team is necessary. So instead of always pointing the fingers, something of this sort. Okay, so tell me, I just got a call from Miss Stephanie, and timing is everything. So if you know that they're in the middle of changing diapers in the K2 classroom, that's probably not the time, right? That's probably not the time. So ask, so hey, I just got a call from Miss Stephanie early in the day, and she let me know that she was missing 3 days of parent communication. And so can you tell me a little bit about that, right? Versus, you didn't do your daily communication, you know our parents are expecting this, right? We're building healthy relationships even with our team members. So even that offense and that tone in your voice and pointing the blame, even though they may be the one who is in the wrong, right? Because you're having to figure out information. You don't know if it was a technical glitch. You don't know if they submitted it, and you don't know what the case is. So you have to be cautious in the way that even you present the information to your team member. So tell me a little bit, gather that you're gathering the information, right? You're not assuming. And so what I want you to do is, so tell me a little bit. Well, I put the information, it could be their answer is, I put the information in there and I sent it, you know, Ms. Rosa, I sent it every single day. So then that way, if you have the digital portions, then you're able to simply go back under your reports, be able to click on that student, be able to see if those messages were sent, be able to even see if they were opened, right? Typically, that's what the digital daily communications allows for us to see. But then you can also see maybe their response was, I'm just having a really rough time this week. I actually didn't get a chance to get to it. So if that is the case with the B answer, simply, how are you going to offer some solutions? Okay, so I understand. So tell me a little bit what's going on. Sometimes being able to get off their chest what it is that's bothering them, first and foremost, because that lets them know that you value them as a person. And it doesn't happen all the time. So tell me a little bit what's going on. So it could be that they just got a phone call a few days ago about an aunt who is now in the emergency room, and they're all trying to figure out as a family what decision they have to make next. And that can weigh on a person. But just being able to vocalize their concern to you. Be sincere, right? You have to be sincere with your team members. I'm sorry that happened to you. You know, just let me know if there's something that I can do for you. If you need, if you're able to do an extra few hours where you and your family can kind of have that time where you can discuss it, you know, I can do that for you on this Friday. So then that way you're not bringing such a heaviness to the workplace, because our students need your full engagement, right? So let's do that. Does that sound like a good option? Okay. and the manner of the communications, guess what? Our parents still need us, okay? All right, so I want you to go ahead and put in that information as much as you possibly can. Be honest. If you're not exactly sure about the diaper changes time, then that's okay, all right? I did apologize on behalf of us, but I am gonna want you to apologize, okay? And it doesn't have to be anything long and drawn out. We made a mistake. You made a mistake. Guess what? We all make mistakes. So having that parent to also join in with the solution and say, hey, Miss Stephanie, I apologize that you didn't get that communication. It was sincerely my fault. And I ask that you accept my apology. And going forward, I've scheduled a time in which during nap time, about 30 minutes until nap time when everyone's down, then guess what? I am able to complete that. So my goal to you is to be sure that this doesn't happen again. And I just wanted to sincerely apologize for that, right? So what the parent heard was a super admin, right? The parent heard a team member who is professional, a team member who was optimistic, right, about clarifying the situation, a team member who will most likely carry the same professionalism and optimism into a challenging situation. Because remember, you're beginning with the end in mind. So I want to know, I want someone else other than Rosa to tell me, how do you believe a parent felt when encountering a team member such as Ms. Rosa? How do you feel like a parent felt on that phone call with encountering a team member like Ms. Rosa? And we have just we've got about 5 more minutes that I just need to get through really quick. Do we have anyone? If not, I'm going to move on.
Remember, you guys can unmute yourself. I know that's not typical for our webinars, but I've made it so that you can speak. So just click the microphone in the bottom left of your Zoom screen and you can talk if you would like to participate.
Okay.
Hi,
Thank you,
my name
Dani.
is Gina Clark Nelson.
Okay. Hi, Ms. Gina.
I feel like the parent really felt like she was heard and she was understood, and her concerns were met. Ms.
Okay.
Rosa did a fantastic job at reaching out to that parent and assuring her that the situation will not happen again.
Thank you, Ms. Gina. That's right. And you, Ms. Rosa she didn't raise her voice. You know, that tone was there. She listened. And part of healthy relationship is to not just talk and speak, but also to listen. So we're going to quickly go into written communication. So remember, intentional teaching with parenting communication. Our teachers communicate with our parents day after day after day after day. And right now, this is the only communication that they have with their families, right? So we need everything to be our best, not okay, not good, but our best. So what does our best look like? So in these next just few brief minutes, I don't think we're going to be able to finish everything, but these are some names listed here. But I want you to take a look here. Find the mistake in this daily note. It was sent out after closing time. So someone unmute your mic. Tell me the mistake that you found. Who found the mistake? I'm gonna give us about 10 more seconds. If not, then I'll tell you.
Is it that it wasn't sent?
Okay.
Would it be that there are 3 children listed on the same row?
Okay.
It would be hard to track.
So actually, is look right here. There are no notes entered in. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys who are directors or admins, let me tell you, let me go to this next slide. The absence of communication can be just as detrimental. And sometimes our new staff or current staff or seasoned staff don't understand that. And sometimes they have to kind of reel them back in and give them the information. When you have a parent who has entrusted their most prized possession, they rightfully expect to receive the set standard communication daily. Remember, we've already given them the handbook and we've told them the standards. We told them what it is for our services and us being the educators and the professionals that we are. This is what they can expect from us. So the lack of doing so can cause offense and mistrust if left unattended to. So with the tips in the previous scenario, how would you handle this unfavorable circumstance? I'm going to kind of go through it kind of really quickly because I want you to see another scenario with the parent communication. So we're building trust. One thing that I say in our tours all the time is our desire is for you to leave your little one here and be able to go to work and not think twice about your decision day after day after day. But one thing I know is it's going to come through us building trust. So that's just it, right? And how are we going to build that trust? Intentional parent communication, effective parent communication, positive parent communication is necessary. So if they've been told that this is what they can expect to receive, then that's what they should receive. So the question to you as an admin is, how often do you check daily notes to be sure that there's no spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes? And you may say, ooh, Miss Shannon, that's kind of like, ooh, they're not English majors, right? But there's just some simple things that we can pick up on, right? Because our goal, one of our goals is for not just while our staff is here with us, but in their future to be the best that they can be, to gain knowledge and material, right? All right, so let's look at this next one. All right, so this one I love. Tell me what you see. Read over this daily note. Dani, I can finish this up in about 2 quick minutes if that's okay with you, and then just kind of end it there.
Okay.
So let's take a look at this right here. So this is the daily communication. Let's see, I'm gonna call on someone. Miss Latoya, tell me, what do you see after reading and after seeing these 2 pictures, because these 2 pictures also being sent through the daily notes? Tell me that you see that you would enjoy if you were a parent. What are you noticing?
So it's a bit small to read.
Oh, okay. Oh, goodness. Okay, is it Miss Latoya? Thank you for being, I love your honesty, Miss Latoya. Thank you, thank you. So let me see. Oh, goodness.
It might be easier if someone is watching from a computer. If you're watching from your phone, it might seem small to read. But if you're watching from a computer, like a desktop, you should unmute and let Ms. Shannon know.
Is there anyone watching from a desktop?
I like all the engagement that is happening. There's a lot of outdoor play, large group play, the meal theme, nutritional.
Oh,
that I'm seeing on my end.
You're going in and out a little bit. Who is that just talking? Say your name. You said that there was a lot of engagement, outdoor play. Who was that?
That was me, Latoya.
Oh, hey, Miss Latoya. Okay. All right. Yes. So remember, our parents aren't able to come into our centers, so we need to give them a play-by-play, right? Kind of like the NFL. They need a play-by-play. They need a recap of their child's day, because if you ask any child all the way up to high school, what did you do today? They may tell you nothing. They've been at school for 8 hours and their answer may be nothing. One thing I love and I see as a director is I don't see any spelling mistakes, right? What I see here is supplies, is to please bring in 2 weather appropriate tops. That's been a little bit more descriptive, right? 1 bottom as well. Thank you, right? Exclamations and punctuations mean a lot. Notes on Friday. I love reminders, right? Because families are busy. Parents are busy. So having them say, hey, I got this note on Tuesday, I can go ahead and prepare. You don't know. They may have a washer and dryer set at home. They may only launder and have to go to a laundromat. You never know people's circumstances. So you want to keep them in mind. Be intentional about the way that you communicate with your parents. One thing to note here to the left under meals is the correct times. Oh my goodness. Nothing worse than seeing the meals where all of breakfast, lunch, and snack, I'll say 2:15, right? If you ever have a child who's going to a physician and say one of the discussions is they've been constipated, right? So the physician may ask, well, tell me about their eating schedule. Tell me about what it is that they're eating. So whole grain Cheerios, fresh strawberries and milk. At lunch, cheese, pizza, green beans, corn, skim milk. For snack, goldfish, 100% apple juice. these teachers are being thorough, right? Doing large group this morning. We enjoyed singing our good morning song in English. What is the weather song in English? These are conversation starters for our families. They'll be able to jog their students' memory, their child's memory of, tell me about the weather song. How does it go? Versus just asking, tell me what you did at home today, right? So conversation starters, these help jumpstart conversations. Outdoor play, it was a beautiful day outside today. We had a blast playing Jump the River, soccer, trikes in town, creating mud piles, outdoor story time, and more. That blast is accentuated because guess what? It is Planet Week. I see that it's Planet Week. So I look at this picture here. I love that this picture is clear and concise of the book. It's colorful. There's not a lot of stuff all around it. The book isn't gross and yucky. There's quite a few things that I see. It's letting them know that, hey, in addition to engaging in play throughout the day, we have resources and literature for your child to be able to read. I love this, our ceiling, our outer space ceiling art, excuse me. Look at that. How fun is that? Right, how fun is that to be able to be in the block center and then to look up and see different planets and stars, rocket ships and things of that sort. So this gives a picture, right? Because just as some of our students are tactile learners, visual learners, audible learners, so are their parents, right? So their parents who are visual learners need to see these pictures, right? It tells a story, it paints a story, it makes them feel as though they're part of their child's day. And so, Dani, I see that we are 2 minutes before stopping time. I have not been able to finish the webinar. I'm so excited that you guys were able to engage with this. But I wanted to kind of pause here and I'm gonna stop the share.
This was so great. We've never had a webinar that had role play like that. And I want to highlight Miss Rosa again for doing such an excellent job at handling that situation, especially if you're not an administrator already in a childcare program. Something like that can be nerve-wracking, even for me as an administrator of multiple childcare programs. But this we'll leave the floor open for about 5 minutes for an open Q&A regarding anything that Shannon discussed. There is nothing in the Q&A box, Ms. Shannon, but since you've opened the floor for people to speak with their microphones, I guess if you have questions about anything that Shannon discussed, just unmute yourself and ask. If you're not sure how to unmute yourself, you can use the microphone button at the bottom left of your Zoom screen.
I have a question. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am. And can you tell me your name?
My name is Shamanique.
Okay, hi, Ms. Shamanique.
Hi. So my question is, I feel like my staff doesn't have a lot of time to be doing that. Like, and they usually like document like on their phones and stuff like that. I was just curious about how does your staff like handle that? Like, do you have one person that documents all day? Do you have set times? Are they like documenting, like making notes and then sitting at a computer and doing this? Like, how does that work at your center?
Thank you. That's a great question. I would encourage you to, well, first let me say this. So at different times, it just has to be done by the end of the day. And so we give that flexibility because the infants classroom is very different than our pre-K classroom. So saying, okay, everyone's needs to be done by 12, the bulk of your information for morning story needs to be done by 12 p.m. But we actually have weekly meetings, powwow meetings with our teachers. And one of the things as we discuss, okay, so tell me about your day. This is something that you have to do, right? This is on the to-do list for you as a lead teacher. When do you believe that you can implement this? So it may be in our infants classroom. She's like, well, all of them are asleep around 2 o'clock. Okay, perfect. Insert it there. For our K1 classroom, it may be that all of them nap pretty strongly between 12 and 2. So then it's, okay, take just that quick 10, 15 minutes Everyone has a teacher's chair in their classroom. Have a seat on your chair, relax, right? Because I tell our teachers, listen, nap time, if you just need to kind of decompress for a few moments, I don't expect that every waking moment during your nap time, you're moving and moving and moving. We're people, right? We handle situations differently. So I want them to be able to say, just that quick 5-10 minutes of just kind of relaxing and listening to the music really helped me. But it may be different than K1. K4, they may be nappers. You may have some that's kind of outgrown that nap. So it may be that typically nap time is a pretty strong time that they do it. It could be that when they're sitting down during mealtime in K2 with their little ones, that she begins to insert at least the meals, right? And then so that way she doesn't have to go back to see how much this student ate, that student ate. So when you click on each name, you're able to, when she has that description, she's able to then click on everyone's name. So like the small group, the large group, you can just click on the students' names that were there during that time, as long as no one left early. But the more detailed thing with diapering and potting, supplies, we have what we call Restock Thursdays. So parents know certain days mean certain things. We have Family Friday. So they know that all of the art is going home Friday, and that our families, we ask that they go over the artwork and just spend about just a few moments. So scheduling our days to mean certain things also helps. So Restock Thursdays for the supply list. So they know that on Restock Thursdays, by the end of the day, they're going to get a list of making sure that your child has at least 3 tops, 3 bottoms, 2 pair of underwear, 3 pair of socks if they're potty trained, and the 6 tops, 6 bottoms, 6 pair of socks, 6 pair of underwear, 2 pairs of shoes in the cubby. So our teachers literally go through on either Wednesday evening or Thursday, whenever it feels their day, and be able to go in cubbies and pull out things. Okay, I see 3 shirts, I see 2, I see, but it makes a world of a difference because things aren't chaotic. I would schedule your days and teach your teachers to go according to that schedule. So talk with them, find out when's the best time during their day that they're able to get it done. But let me say this, if it's not an expectation of yours, it won't be an expectation of theirs. Okay.
Thank you. That was so informative. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, is there a way, Ms. Shannon, that people can get in contact with you after? Do you want to share, since we are out of time, how, if anybody has more questions, how they can reach you?
Yes, absolutely. So you're able to just simply go to my website, which is, I'm going to put in the chat, I'm going to put in my email address, my website. You can copy and paste. It's simply my first and last name. But I'm putting in the chat because most people don't know how to spell my first name, and that is A-OK. Just copy and paste, and then you're able to just click on the form where you're able to just get in contact with me, and then we'll start our discussion of what your needs are, right? So everyone's needs are different, but that is the way to get in contact with me. www.shannonpickett.com, SHAWNONNEPICKETT.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you for this very informative, very engaging webinar. And I can't wait to have you back.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Dani. I hope all the best for all of you. Continue to stay safe and continue to enjoy what it is that we do and what we love and who we love.
I will make sure that I include, I see someone saying they don't see it. I'll make sure that I include the link to your website in the video replay. And I also just put it in the chat for all attendees. So ShannonPickett.com, ShannonPickett.com is how people can get in contact with you, right?
Yes. That is correct. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And to everybody that is watching, thank you for joining us again. I apologize for such short notice, but you made it here live, and I appreciate that. And I will see you in next week's webinar Wednesday. Thank you, Ms. Shannon. Talk to you guys later.
And listen, Dani, when you guys go on the webpage, it's all the way down at the bottom. So you just simply have the contact me portion at the bottom and just put in your name, email address, phone number if you'd like, and then hit send, and that's it.
Perfect. Thank you for those instructions.
All
And
right.
we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you.